How would you like to win all of this? What's up, Superhumans? BT here. If you're new to this channel, first of all, welcome. I like to create content and programs to help you move, feel, and perform better, both mentally and physically. So if you're into that sort of thing, if that's your jam, hit that subscribe button. In the past decade, self-myofascial release, also known as foam rolling, as a practice and the tools used for it have exploded. It is as uncomplicated as it sounds. You take a tube of foam and you roll your muscles on it. If you've tried it, then you know it can be sometimes pretty darn painful. So why? Why would you do this to yourself? If it was painful and boring, what would be the benefit of foam rolling? Even though many of the benefits of SMR are still being argued and researched, one benefit in particular is pretty well agreed upon, and that is it inhibits overly active muscle tissue. If you've watched my video, Why You're Always Injured, you can find it here, then you'll understand what role overly active muscle tissue plays in the injury cycle. Overly active muscles lead to altered neuromuscular control, which then lead to movement dysfunction and compensation, which then lead to injury, which then leads to more injury. Again, it's a pretty nasty cycle. Okay, so foam rolling, we're into it, great. But which one to buy? If you look on Amazon, you're going to find like a bajillion foam rollers and prices that vary greatly. So if you had to choose between a $15 foam roller and a $200 foam roller, which one would you buy? You know, a few months ago, I would have said, duh, no brainer, $15. But things have changed. In 2014, Hyperice and its engineering team, which was formerly in the aerospace field, created the first ever portable, high-intensity vibration roller, a vibrating foam roller. I remember when Vyper came out, that's the product's name, thought, you know what, this looks cool, it sounds cool, but you're not going to see a markedly huge jump in benefits to justify such a massive price. Fast forward to May 1st of this year, when a representative of Hyperice reached out to me and asked me if I would take a look at some of their products. Let me first specify that this video is not sponsored by Hyperice. They have not paid me to make this video. I was under no obligation whatsoever to make a video on this. Their only request was that I just gave an honest review about it. And so, here it is. This is the Hypersphere Mini, and as its name implies, it is a smaller counterpart to the Hypersphere. Hypersphere Mini is 11 inches in circumference, 3.5 inches in diameter, which makes it the same size as a softball. Some heft to it, though. It definitely doesn't feel cheap in the hand. It's got a rubber or maybe a silicone type of coating on it with a little bit of tread, which is nice because it'll tack down to your tissue, and that's really good when you're foam rolling. Right here in the center, you're gonna find your power button, and this is kind of like my first gripe. It's got more of a unsatisfying squish than it does an actual like hearty click. And it takes an awkwardly long time to turn it on. And if you're not like dead center pressing on it pretty firmly, it won't turn on, which might lead you to think that you've got a defective item. Sometimes when you're rolling, because of the power button, just how it's ergonomically made, and depending on what you're rolling, you can actually like turn the vibration setting, you can adjust the vibration setting, or even worse, sometimes you'll end up turning it off. Kind of annoying when you're rolling to have to pull it back out, hold the button down for that awkwardly long time, have it start back up, and then try to get into the groove again. Once you've turned it on though, you'll see these little diodes. This is your battery indicator, and if I'll be honest, this is not the most informative display I've ever seen. Basically full charge, half charge, it's gonna die, I don't know. Battery life is gonna run you about 2 hours on this on the maximum setting, and obviously longer for those lower settings. And you charge it by a USB micro cable. Another gripe of mine. You've heard me, if you've watched these comparisons done before, not comparisons, if you've watched me do a review on some of this tech stuff before, I'd much rather see a USB Type-C than a USB micro. Also, it has this little flap here, and it is only held together. Here's another gripe of mine. It is only held together by this one tiny cable here, which really sucks. I'm worried about like tearing it off when I roll, because when you press this in, it's almost never flush, and that just drives my OCD nuts. Hyperice, if you're listening, here's a couple of fixes for you that I've mentioned already. Alright, so the Hypersphere Mini comes with a 10-watt motor and 3 different speeds. To turn it on, like we've already turned the device on, I'm going to hit this center power button once to turn it on to the first speed, another time for the second, and another time for the third. So having these adjustments is actually pretty nice, even though the maximum speed isn't rough by any means. Sometimes it can be too much depending on what you're working on. If you were working into your neck and you don't want that much vibration, to be able to turn it way down is really kind of nice. That being said, I do find myself using the maximum setting more often than not, and it comes in at just 64 decibels, so really not that annoying of a volume. You get a 1-year replacement warranty for the Hypersphere Mini. This is the Hyperice Vyper 2.0. It is a vibrating foam roller. The Vyper 2.0 is 11.5 inches long and 6 inches in diameter, so it is extremely portable, which is very nice. It fits into my 22-liter everyday carry without a hassle. It does have some heft. It feels very quality. It is 3 pounds. The Vyper is covered in a very dense, firm foam with this kind of spiral design on it. And that's honestly kind of my first gripe about the Vyper. These spirals become less functional. They almost act like riflings on a bullet, so that when you turn it on, you put your weight on there, it almost like fires away, and it's extremely hard to keep it under you. So it's kind of annoying to be doing your thing, feeling good, having to stop and readjust the roller. I've never had that as an issue before, but you will find yourself having to readjust this quite a bit. Now, unlike the Hypersphere Mini, this thing has a very satisfying click. There you go. And there you'll be greeted by 5 LEDs. As you can see, my battery's pretty low on this one. I've only got one more. So this is a little bit more informative than the Mini. The Vyper 2.0 is going to give you 2 hours of constant runtime at the maximum setting, obviously longer as you reduce the intensity. The Vyper also uses an 18-volt AC adapter for easy charging. For your first charge, Hyperice recommends charging this for 12 hours and then subsequently 2 hours for charges after that, depending on how low your battery is. Now, the Vyper is way more powerful than the Mini. The Vyper's lowest setting is the equivalent of the Mini's second setting. And if I were to turn this on to its highest setting, just holding it for a few seconds, like my hand would go kind of numb. So it's extremely powerful. And that brings me to maybe my next gripe, if it's even a gripe. It's so powerful that some spots you really can't use it. My mid back, my upper back, so like my thoracic and cervical spine, I can't work up into there because of those bony protrusions of your vertebrae. Like, this just bounces too much on there and it becomes kind of painful. Also, because I've had multiple concussions, this thing just rattles my head so much that I can't use it on its highest setting. I can't use it on its second setting. I have to take it to the lowest setting. More often than not, I find myself reaching for this if I'm going to do anything in my back. I will say, however, that maximum setting is incredibly nice for your legs. Probably my last and biggest gripe though is the volume. Whereas this is 64 decibels, this is 84 decibels. Which is the equivalent to a lawnmower, a blow dryer, or even my Blendtec. Now let's get to the elephant in the room, the price. The Hypersphere Mini comes in at $100, and the Vyper 2.0 is $200. And again, you know, before they ever sent them to me, I thought that's kind of ridiculous. But now, after having used them, they really are amazing. For all of its faults, as I've told you, each thing has 3 or 4 gripes, but for all of those faults, it does the one thing it says it's going to do so well that you end up kind of forgetting about them. I will pretty much guarantee if you purchase either one of these, you are not going to want to go back to a normal foam roller. I love them so much that I'm going to let you in on a little secret. So a few months ago, I started to approach 1,000 subscribers. For me, that was a pretty substantial milestone. It's a goal that I set. At this point, we are at 1,200, which is awesome. So I thought at the time, remember, I didn't think these things were going to be that good. I thought, you know what, I'll get them in and I'll just turn around and give them away for this subscriber thing. Thought this would make a killer giveaway. But then I liked it so much that I was like, shit, I don't want to give these away. So I reached back out to Hyperice and I said, hey, I'm kind of in a dilemma here. I love these, but I hit 1,000 subscribers and I was planning on giving these away, but now I want to keep them. Is there any way you can send me another set that I could give away? And they said yes. So how dope is that? So this giveaway, how do you enter? Well, first of all, it's not just these 2 products. I've also got their Venom, which is a vibrating heating back brace thing. I used it once just to test it out and it was awesome. And I kind of don't want to give this away, but I'm going to give it away. That's not it. They're also giving away the Hypervolt, which is their massage gun. I'm super stoked about this. It's very portable, comes with 4 different heads. You get the Mini, you get the roller, you get the Hypervolt, you also get the Venom. That's $800 retail, and I'm going to be giving it away to one lucky subscriber. So how do you enter? It's super simple. First of all, like the video. Second of all, you gotta make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel and my Instagram. While you're there on the Instagram page, you've got to follow Hyperice. Lastly, all you gotta do is leave a comment down below in this video here on YouTube as to why you need it, what you're gonna use it for, why I should be giving this to you. I really am blown away by how much this channel has grown. I can't thank you enough for your support and the kind messages and comments you leave about how my content in these videos help you. That's it. Make sure you hit the notification bell down below. That's going to notify you as to when I release my newest videos. And on the newest video, that comparison video between the Hypervolt and the Theragun, that's where I'm going to announce the winner. So make sure you hit that notification bell. All right, that's it. I think I covered everything. Guys, I will catch you later. Peace.